Hi, I'm Bruce Arnold, and I'd like to talk to you today about music theory. More specifically, some simple stuff about how chords are built and what chords are in general. For chords, they're really just a combination of playing more than one note at the same time. So you could actually have a two-note chord, not commonly used, but theoretically there could be just a two-note chord. More commonly, chords are 3 notes, 4 notes, and even more notes. Of course, on guitar we only have 6 strings, so 6 notes would be the most we could play in a chord. Chords are usually built in thirds, and chords can be built in other ways, but usually the basic chords are built in thirds. And what I mean by that is, if you had the notes C, D, and E would be the third note, because if we had C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, right? And let's just, for clarity's sake, think of E as 1 now, F and G, so 1, 2, 3. So E and G are a third apart too. So that would make a C chord, C, E, and G. And there's many ways that you can combine notes to make chords. So now let's take a closer look at just how some of the more common chords are built. Okay, so let's look at some of the common chords that you might play. Here's, I'm sure you recognize this C major chord. It's a C, E, G, and a B. Now let's just look at those notes and see what we have here. C is our first note. Then we have an E. Well, if we go up a C major scale, C, D, E, we can see that E is the third note. All right, and remember, all these chords are built in thirds, so there's your first third. Now if we go from our E up a C scale to an F to a G, you can see that between E and G is a third. Then up here I'm playing another C, and then up here I'm playing another E. So remember, when you're playing chords, you might play more than one of the same notes. In this C chord, I'm playing 2 C's and 2 E's. All right, so that's how a C major chord is built. Let's just take a look at another one. Let's look at an F chord. Now look, we have an F here and then an A. Those are a third apart. F, G, A. So it's the third note. And then A, if we were in a key of F, it would be a B flat C. Don't worry about understanding that right now, but what I really want you to see is that A and C are a third apart. So then we have F, A, C, and then we're doubling the F up here. So there we have a doubled note and 3 notes to make up an F triad. Okay, so now let's take another way of looking at this C chord. We could think of the intervals. So we have C here. If we went up a half step, that'd be a minor second. If we went to a D, that would be a major second. E would be a minor third, and E would be a major third. So another way of looking at a C major chord is that the first 2 notes are made up of a major third, which is 4 half steps. Remember, our frets are a half step, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 to get up to our E. All right, same note here. All right, then the other note in a C major chord is a G. Well, let's go from our E and go up 1 half step to F, another half step to F sharp, another half step to G. So that's 3 half steps. That's a minor third. So that gives you your C, E, and G. So to build a major chord, you go up a major third and then a minor third. Let's look at another chord and see that relationship. Let's go to our F again. So here's F. If we go up 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, we get that A, right? So it's F and A. Now we need to go up 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3 to get a C. And there's your F chord. So you can see that building chords, when they're major, you just need to go up 4 half steps for the first note and then 3 half steps for the next note. And then of course, in this instance, again, I'm doubling a note up here. So you can always have doubled notes. So you can see there's some simple information there on how to build a major chord. Now, of course, there's all kinds of different types of chords, and there's chords with 7 chords, and we'll get into those. in another video, but I just want you to understand in this video the simple way that a chord is built, in this case a major chord, and to realize that in a chord, like a C major chord, you're going to have some doubled notes in there, but basically the chord is built with 4 half steps in the bottom and 3 half steps in the top. Now, to learn all your different types of chords from every degree and every key, that's, a big process on the guitar, and really the only way to do that is to work through some exercises. So I recommend following the links on next to this video and looking for the book Music Theory Workbook for Guitar Volume 1. That will really help you learn how to build chords, and also will give you a theory section to explain the basics of theory so that you understand not only how to build a major chord, but all different types of chords. Just remember that music theory is a language, and you need to work with it a lot before you get to the point where you just remember this stuff, just like when you're speaking the English language. You're not thinking about every note that you're playing. And that's how music theory has to become for you to be able to use it in music in a creative way.